Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Welcome to Livingston, where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations in to talk about what they are giving to our community. My name is Don Pacella.
And I'm Angela Pacella, and we're with the Pacella Group Real Estate Professionals. As realtors and brokerage owners, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week.
Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast. My name is Don Pacella.
And I'm Angela Pacella, and we're with the Pacella Group Real Estate Professionals.
So we are so excited for today's episode. We are happy to have Hartland High School in with us today. We have James Fitzgerald, the principal, and Patrick Borg, the assistant principal. Thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Hartland High.
Hey, thank you. We are so excited to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And normally we end up just interviewing a lot of the small businesses around, but this has been really special for us to sit down with the educators because the schools are a big part of our county and what make it so great.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were excited. We listened to the podcast with principals from Howell and Brighton, and so we were super excited to join you guys today and tell you about Hartland High School a little bit.
No, yeah, we are super excited about it. And, you know, what we know of Hartland High School is obviously going there for sporting events. And just to start off, you guys have an amazing high school. Just for the look of it, walking through, it's such a great facility and it has such a nice look to it.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's a great building. I pinch myself sometimes, even walking in, you know, being there 4 years, and it's like, what an amazing place to work every day. And they did a wonderful job. It's a beautiful place for our kids, for our students.
Yeah, for sure. I feel the same way. It's hard to believe it's 30 years old already, to be honest with you. It doesn't look like it, but we're very, very, very proud of that building. I think it represents the community very well.
That amazes me that it's that old.
Because everyone thinks of it as the new building, you know?
Yeah, it's getting there. I think it was 2003. So, yeah.
Wow.
It's been there, and it's still beautiful. The district does a nice job of keeping it up and, you know, making it state-of-the-art or keeping it state-of-the-art.
That's excellent. Good. So, but it's more than just the facility. Like, you guys have a lot of great programs. You're doing a lot of neat things. In terms of some of the things that make Hartland special, like what's sort of the snapshot of the basics? If someone's just like kind of coming in, how are things structured at Hartland High?
Well, I guess the thing that stands out to me is the people. We have great people at Hartland High School, from the students to the parents to the teachers, the entire staff, the admin team. I feel like the people are what make it. And part of that is I think we have something, because of the people we have and the variety of people we have something for everybody. I feel we have a program, an activity, an event, something that kids want to be involved in, academics or otherwise. So that really stood out to me when I first got to Hartland is wow, this place has a lot to offer kids and students, and that makes me excited for my own kids that attend Hartland. So,
Right. And how big is the school in terms of like population wise for the students?
We have about 1,600, a little over 1,600 students. And it's a big building. It's a big place, a lot of kids. But what I love about it is it feels small. I grew up in a high school with about 1,000 kids, and that seemed like perfect size to me. That's what I was used to. That's all I knew. So coming to Hartland, I was a little, at first thought I was going to be intimidated by how big it was, the building and how many students, and it doesn't feel that way at all. It feels like a close-knit community, because that's what it is. And I feel like I said, our kids have something, but they also have someone in the building that they can go to when they need a little extra support or guidance. We always ask our students, "Who's your person at Hartland High School?" And there's always someone, you know. And
nice.
it's always our staff and our teachers, and from our security staff to our parapros to our counselors to our teachers. We feel like every kid has something and someone in our building.
Yeah, that way that really gives them that connection.
Absolutely.
Right. So I know, you know, the kids know each other because, you know, there's only one middle school, but you have kids that are coming in from outside of district when you're starting high school. So when a freshman comes in, how do you guys go about making them feel comfortable, bringing them in? Because there's there's so much coming at them, and if they don't have older siblings, there's so much coming at the parents as well. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a couple things come to mind, and one's coming up here in another 2 weeks. A couple weeks on August 12th is we have our Freshman Link orientation, or our Freshman Link program, and it starts with an orientation. So on the 12th, we'll bring all of our ninth graders in, and the day before that, we train all of our Link leaders. So we'll have upperclassmen, juniors and seniors that train or sign up and train to be leaders for our ninth graders. And so what we'll do is that morning at 8 a.m., we'll meet with the parents in the auditorium briefly just to do a quick introduction and answer some questions. But then we'll go to the gym with all of our ninth graders, and our leaders are welcoming them into the building, and we get them fired up for the year and welcome them to Hartland High School and make it a fun experience. And throughout that day, they're assigned to a leader, an upperclassman, and they'll do get to know you activities. They'll tour the building. They'll get their IDs. They'll answer any questions. They'll walk their schedule, things like that. And so it's a great way to start the year for them and see the building for the first time with their peers, but also having an upperclassman that they already know. But on top of that, the thing that kind of keeps that program going is they'll meet several times throughout the year.
Nice.
Yes, and they'll meet with those same leaders during our club and seminar time, and just to kind of check in. How are things going? They'll do a bigger event right before midterm exams, Cocoa and Cram. And so the freshmen can come down and kind of learn how to study for final exams for the first time for many of them. So the check-ins are what's the key, because they already have that person in the building, the upperclassmen that they can go to, that they know, that they see in the hallways. But then they can talk to and just do those check-ins throughout the year as they come. Another program that comes to mind is our new student ambassadors. For students that are coming to Hartland new, we have a program that our counselors run where they check in with those kids. Well, they'll bring kids that have been with us that were new to Hartland but have been at Hartland High School for several years, and they meet with our kids that are brand new like they were a couple years ago. And so they'll do activities and kind of be able to help each other and mentor each other as someone who's gone through that.
Yeah. Another thing that eases that transition too is all the sports opportunities, like you guys know with your own daughter, you know, being in cheerleading, or the kids are in band, cross country, what have you, football over the summer. Like a lot of those freshmen have the opportunity to connect with some kids early on before they hit that first day of school too, which is, you know, super helpful for a lot of our kids as they transition into high school.
Yeah, that made a huge difference for our daughter when she changed the school districts, just having those teammates.
Right. It gives you a little bit of a tribe. You know, it's someone to lean on. You know, you don't feel as alone. I mean, because for kids coming in, I mean, you know, I graduated with 250 kids in my class, right? About 1,000 in the school. Mm-hmm. But, you know, the schools out here in Livingston County, I mean, you're talking 1,500, 2,000 kids. It's, you know, for those of us that came from smaller schools, it's quite the jump.
It's an adjustment. But what I like about what I'm hearing that you guys are doing is that whether someone is involved in a sport and has a team already going in, or even if they don't, that there's these resources, that it's not just the staff that is ready and available to the students. You have other students that are kids, you know, their age may be a little older, but at least there's people for them to talk to and feel connected before they ever begin.
Absolutely. We need those kids, to those upperclassmen, to be leaders and help us set the culture in our building. And show the younger kids by example and how it's done, and they just went through it a couple years ago. So having them be do some of those leadership roles makes a big impact for those young kids.
Makes sense. Now, do you guys do the National Honor Society or some of those NHS students, or?
Yep. National Honor Society, Student Council, extracurricular events. We run clubs. We're on a 7-hour class period school day, but every Friday we run an abbreviated schedule, and we have built-in club, we call it seminar time, where students can meet with their clubs during the school day. Kids nowadays are so busy. Sports, work, all the outside things pulling at them. But we have built-in time on Fridays where they can actually meet with their clubs, which is outstanding, really cool. And it gets more kids to join clubs and be involved in something outside of just athletics.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That makes sense. And sometimes those in athletics aren't able to participate in clubs because they're busy with their sports. So That's a really good solution.
Yeah, so we run the first couple Fridays. We'll run an introduction where the students kind of are introduced to all the different clubs we have to offer, and they have each club has descriptions and videos that the kids kind of can get to know before they sign up, right? And then so they'll kind of know what they're signing up for before they jump into it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is really good. And I wanted to touch on some of the other academic programs you have that maybe people don't know about. Again, when you're coming into high school as parents, we think of you're just going there for classes, but there's so many other things that people are kind of able to delve into to get a better idea of where they want to go with their life before they hit that senior year where all of a sudden it's, I'm trying to make a decision.
But before you dig into that, I think we should take a moment to take a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in our community for many years. Jim Paquette is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their homeownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special. Now let's dive back into the stories of the incredible entrepreneurs we are featuring today. It's so, we're back here. So the question is, what are some of your key programs that you guys have for kids, for academics and other areas?
Yeah, I feel we have a wide range of programs to kind of meet students where they're at, but also encourage them to pursue some different interests. I encourage my own kids, try it, and at least you'll find out if you love that area or not. Some popular ones, we have a partnership with the University of Michigan Flint. It's called our DEEP program. It's a dual enrollment program, but our kids can actually do dual enrollment courses through U of M Flint actually on our campus, which is pretty cool. And it's open to the whole county, but that's a popular one. We have an early middle college program. I know some of the other principals talked about that and how popular that is for some of their kids. The CTE, shared time through the county, is really popular. One at Hartland High School is our cybersecurity and networking. They have a great lab space that we just invested in down in our collaboration center. And Ms. Hassel, Ms. Loda are doing some outstanding work down there. And that program is gaining popularity throughout the county, getting kids to come and experience that. One that stands out to me as well is our cadet teaching program. As you may know, it is becoming harder and harder to find teachers nowadays across the nation.
Right.
And we have a cadet teaching program that is what I believe second to none. Those kids are doing outstanding work. Ms. Wozni, Mr. Aldred are coaching those kids up and then getting them out into the classrooms at our elementary and intermediate buildings.
That is amazing. And again, that's hands-on, because so often, even for teachers, you get into college and you're getting into the programs, then you don't realize whether I like it or I don't like it till you're 2-3 years in, that you're giving kids an opportunity to go into those classrooms so they know day one into college, no, not only is this something I was interested in, I know I like it.
Yeah, hands-on experience, that's really huge.
Absolutely, and those teachers that have cadet teachers coming in absolutely love them. They do a great job of teaching them, and it's kind of like that pre-student teaching experience.
Right.
And the kids love them. And one of my favorite things to do is to go out to those elementaries and see our cadet teachers in action. It is just so rewarding to see them. And like you said, their learning is teaching for me or maybe not. And a lot of them are finding that out before they jump into a college program.
Right. That is very cool. And I know you said at the beginning there of, that collaboration with U of M Flint. Something that I've always found interesting and somewhat unique about your guys' school is, with your football and your sports and that, you guys have the U of M helmet. How did that happen?
You know what? I do not know how that all came about. I just know I really enjoy it as a Michigan fan myself, but I don't know how that all came
I'm
about.
a big history guy, and so I've asked the same thing. My expectation is cool helmets like Clarkston. Schools will borrow the winged helmet and such. But what I've been told is I believe it's the Krause family. And they've had, there's Walden Woods and there's the Cromain Library. And so I think the Kraus family were big in the community a long time ago, and he was a U of M grad. And I believe it's the Kraus family. I could be mistaken. It might be another family, but a significant family in town was a U of M grad. And what I was told is they brought over, when they started a football program at Hartland High School way back in the day, they brought some of that U of M football equipment over secondhand to get it started. So that's what I was told recently.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That is
And
interesting.
even your fight song, isn't that also a little
Correct.
similar to?
It is very
is.
similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do know, I mean, you guys have great athletic programs. The one I know the most about is football, because our sons did band. So you guys have a great band. You have an amazing drum line.
Yes.
Because our son is center snare for Howell, and you guys have the drum battle every year. So that's very cool. The collaboration and, the friendly rivalry.
Absolutely. Our band is absolutely outstanding. Brad Lodley does a phenomenal job. That community of kids, they love it and they live it. And it's one of my favorite things about Hartland High School. On Friday nights, we do a student pregame where we meet in the courtyard with all the student section. And my favorite part of that is when the band comes by on their way out to the field and plays for our student section, the Eagle's Nest, and plays for us, and then leads us out onto the field, across the track, to the student section where we sit right next to the band and cheer on our Eagles on Friday night. And they don't just do that. They bring their pep bands to our basketball games, a ton of different athletic events, and just do a really nice job. And our band program and our athletic programs kind of need to work hand in hand because they support each other. Friday nights are not just about football. Right, we have our band is a huge part of that. Our cheerleading, our POM team, it's an entire community event, and it's a big deal to us. And our community shows up for Hartland, which is outstanding.
That's definitely what we've seen with both districts. I mean, it's phenomenal at what great spirit you have. That people step up, whether it's the students themselves or their parents. You do definitely have a great connection with your community.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think one high school districts tend to foster that too, and that's special about the schools in Livingston County. One big high school. It's work to make them feel like small communities, but having that one big high school where everyone is going to Hartland High School in the community, that's special.
Right. And I know our job outside of podcasting is we're both realtors. We own our own brokerage. But one of the things I know is when we're working with families that live in Hartland, they're always like, no, I have to stay in the district.
Even some that aren't. That it's not an unusual request that people do say, only Heartland schools will do, which since you guys do have the freeways running through and so forth, it's like there's a lot going on that, there's not as many houses as people would like, for sure.
Yeah. Certainly draws people to Hartland. A big part of that is the schools. We have outstanding teachers, and our teachers tend to stay here. We don't typically lose teachers elsewhere because Hartland is a phenomenal place to be and teach and work. And that's what drew me to Hartland. We moved here 6 years ago. I've been at Hartland High School for 4 years, 2 as the assistant principal, 2 as the principal, going into my 3rd year. What drew me here is my family's here. We live here. Right. My own kids go to Hartland schools, and we love it. Hartland's kind of like Hartland High School and Hartland Community Schools is kind of like the downtown of Hartland, which is really cool. It really is a big deal for the kids and the families in this community.
Right.
So it brings them together, I think, right?
Absolutely. And, you're talking about athletics, what a year. Your baseball team just won a state title.
Congratulations.
Such a proud moment
Wow.
for Hartland. And talking about community, just being at that state title game, semifinal, final, and just looking around, seeing all the Hartland youth kids watching the high school kids do that, and just such an experience. I was almost just as happy for those young kids being able to watch our high school kids as the actual kids on the field. What an experience!
Right.
And the whole community came out for that, and just that partnership with our youth programs to our high school programs. From our high end night. for all sports. Those youth kids and those partnerships and our camps make a big difference for those little kids growing up, so that they can see, watch the big kids who are like celebrities for them.
Right. Well, I know you guys have such great facilities there. The football field is great. Even the one at the middle school behind, which, we've been at with the youth sports, is really good. And I've always, it's great. You see that, like, in the youth football, they always blew up like a tunnel that the kids ran through, and they make it a production. And then, like you said, for them to be able to see the high school team win a state championship in baseball, to be able to have that, to say, hey, this is what I'm pushing for.
Sure.
Absolutely. In our gymnastics team, same thing, won a state title. Our archery team, multiple years. And it just makes it more fun. Makes coming to work a little bit more enjoyable for myself, for our staff, for our families. Makes it a lot of fun.
You have a lot to be proud of.
You do.
We do.
We know your golf coach, Nathan Oak, rather well. And I know that's a great program there as well. So, and then you guys have the old high school that has like all the gymnastics area in it. So, I mean, you guys have a lot of resources to draw from.
Yeah, I've always felt that, when we lived in Hartland ourselves, how they utilize their facilities, from the baseball fields to the gymnastics facility at the old high school, even what we offer our seniors in the community, access to the pickleball courts, the old high school to walk, how they use main campus, whether it be the pool, what have you. Like, yes, the facilities are fantastic. Very proud of those.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we've been at the pool. You guys have an amazing pool. I mean, they have there's water slides in there that people don't know about.
Yeah. The whole community uses that, which is nice.
It's neat because you had mentioned it before, but your school really is intertwined with the community itself. Like, you guys do a very good job really connecting.
Absolutely.
Everybody there.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Now, in terms of extracurriculars, too, I know we touched on them earlier, but I'd like to delve into some of the great things that you guys have going on with some of these clubs and other opportunities for students.
Yeah, a lot of clubs, some newer ones, our esports program kind of runs out of our cybersecurity and networking lab down there. That's a program that's only a couple years old at Hartland High School, and they've already won a state championship season.
Oh my gosh!
And that has become a very popular club and club sport after school as well. So that's one we're proud of. Maybe our most popular club is our Unified Club. Unified Sports at Hartland High School kind of started back, I believe, when Jason Reck was athletic director. He's now principal at Village Elementary. And Unified Sports at Hartland High School is such a blessing, such a wonderful experience for our kids. And it just is everything that's right in our world, everything that's right at Hartland High School. Kind of Unified resembles that, exemplifies that. So we do a lot of Unified basketball games, which our community comes out to. My favorite event is with Brighton High School. Every year we'll do a Unified basketball assembly game, and we rotate. This past year was at our place. Next year it'll be at Brighton High School. But we bring the entire student body down to watch a Unified basketball game, and the entire student body leaves that assembly game with smiles on their face, just feeling a sense of joy and pride of being a Hartland Eagle or a Brighton Bulldog. Both of those teams come together in both of those communities and do such a nice job.
And the cool thing, too, is how, we'll host Brighton, and all those athletes will come, and then our kids will, have lunch with them. And, they're bringing over 100 kids. Wow. And so then next year, our kids will go over to Brighton High School and have that same experience. Another cool thing about that, too, is oftentimes, we'll schedule doubleheaders for basketball where the girls team and the boys varsity teams will both play a game on Friday night, but sandwiched in between, we'll have that Unified team play against Brighton High School. So we've got the girls, the boys, and the Unified team all playing Brighton High School in the gym on a Friday night, which is pretty special.
Another big one that stands out is our DECA, Part of our business program, our DECA club and our DECA organization is a big deal at Hartland High School. We take a lot of pride in that. Taking kids to qualify for states and internationals. Actually, one of our students, Ben Clay, is the state president for our DECA chapter. So just a sense of pride there. And another realm of the world that our kids get to experience and kind of branch out and give them those leadership roles in more of a real world setting.
That makes sense. And these are such great skills because I know DECA, those are things that as the students move on to college or into the workforce and so forth, that they've really picked up some great skills in doing that.
Absolutely.
That is very, impressive. And I love that you guys have all those different areas. What I'm hearing throughout is like, as a student, there's an area in the interest that you have. Our oldest son did trivia, quiz bowl at Howell, and we went to multiple tournaments at your high school. And I mean, they did great setting up and everything. You guys have a great team over there as well. So that's, another area that like there's something for everybody.
Couldn't agree more. I feel that way. And I mentioned that when I first came to Hartland High School, that was what stood out the most is I feel like we have something for every kid in our building to find their people, find their group, find their passions. And they don't have to just find one. There's a variety out there for, our job is to show them those opportunities and provide them with those opportunities with the great staff that we have. And I think our kids, it doesn't take long for them to find them.
And I do want to touch on performing arts because you guys have an outstanding program for that as well. A lot of times we'll try to catch some of the plays where we can, and that's definitely when we can, because I'll tell you, you guys sell out so often.
Yeah, I know this past spring, the Mamma Mia show, it was tough to get a ticket. I know.
It was.
Sometimes administrators don't even get their tickets.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I had to stand in the back this past one, but I watched that performance and was just blown away at how many talented kids are in our building. I was just in awe, and I brought my own kids who stood next to me, and they were just mouths wide open, like, oh my gosh, it was professional, it was outstanding. Right. So Mr. Usher and his crew does such a nice job.
And that's even with you guys running the shows 2 weekends.
Yeah.
Because I know our son and his girlfriend were trying to get tickets to that and ended up not getting in. And that was like a week and a half ahead of time, and it was sold out. So, I mean, again, that just speaks to, one, what a great production you guys put on, but two, the support that the community has given your guys' school, that they're coming out in full force for these things.
Yeah, the community support's special, whether it's band, the play productions, esports, football, hockey, athletics, across the board. I mean, it is one Heartland. Everyone there supports one another, whether it's the program that their child is in or the program that their neighbor's child is in. Like on Friday nights, like Mr. Fitzgerald said, the whole town is there.
Mm-hmm. That is so fantastic.
And all of those things that you just listed, all of those kids help to build the culture in our building in different ways. We rely on those kids, not just our football team, but all of our programs. We rely on those kids to set the tone in our building. I mean, obviously we set the tone in our building, but we need those students to be leaders, and they are. Performing arts, those kids do such a nice job of being leaders in the classroom, in our building, and on the stage.
Well, and to bring it full circle, when you guys were talking about that LINK program, you have the kids come in and they see upperclassmen that are reaching out to them, that are helping them. And then when they become upperclassmen, they want to do the same thing. So it kind of feeds on itself. And I also noticed you said at the beginning that you bring the parents into the auditorium and just talk to them, because so often, when our kids are going to orientation, they don't even want us there. So like you're like, hopefully they'll tell us what's going on. Yeah. That communication is key.
Absolutely. Our counselors kind of take the lead on that, and meet with our parents several times throughout the year. 2 weeks into the school, we have our senior parent night meeting where the parents come and get to see a presentation, but also answer questions. But that freshman link meeting with the parents, we also understand that parents are busy. So we put those presentations and that information on our website as well for those that can't make it. But that's always a fun, kind of nerve-wracking morning for the kids and the parents. So we like to go down, introduce ourselves, kind of tell them, kind of ease the nerves a little bit. But then we get down to the gym. We hustle down to the gym to get our freshmen fired up. And this is an exciting freshman class for me just because and Patrick, both our sons are in this ninth grade class, the class of 2029. So we know a lot of these kids. We've coached a lot of these kids in the higher programs and things like that. So we're really looking forward to this group. It's going to be a fun year.
That's wonderful because high school, that's exciting. Mm-hmm. That it'll be kind of a big transition for you guys having your kids involved in high school.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a whole different world, seeing your own kid in the hallway. I can only imagine.
I'll let you know how it goes. I worked really hard to avoid this, and here it comes.
Yeah. My daughter's going to be a junior now, and I watched her, as a kind of nervous ninth grader coming into the link orientation, and now this year she's going to be a link leader, like you mentioned. So just seeing these kids that had just went through it 2 years ago, already, leaders in our building stepping up, and this is volunteer, right? They volunteer to do this, and so it's exciting seeing, my daughter become a link leader with our sons coming into the building.
Well, and I think that's a testament to how you guys feel about your own school, that not all administrators have their kids at their school, or even, school board members or whatnot. Mm-hmm. It really, for you to want your kids to be there, right there in your school, means you take a lot of pride in it.
Yeah, Hartland's a family, and a school done right is a family atmosphere,
Right.
And to have your kids, be with all the kids in the building, it says a lot about the building, it says a lot about the staff, it says a lot about the community, and I know Mr. Fitzgerald and I both feel very, very, very fortunate to have our kids in Hartland High School.
It's fantastic. And I know you guys compete at such high levels, with our daughter being in cheer. It's interesting because, they want to do great against everybody, but I feel like it's always Hartland. It's like, okay, can we beat Hartland this year? Some years we do, some years not so much. And of course, that's the younger years. Now we're getting into high school, but I'm sure it's all very much the same. That just all of your programs.
That's what's great about Livingston County.
Yeah.
Is the districts and kind of the competitiveness, but in a positive way.
Good-natured, yes. Everyone's very good-natured about it. Yeah, I never encounter any other parents that are mean or ill-willed or whatnot. It's just, we're all cheering for our kids. And
Yep. And your school has always felt very open to the community, is one thing I can say. If people that live in Hartland, they go to the schools, they definitely let you know that's where they live and that's where they're going. But even from when we were living in Howell, going to those facilities to use them for different things, it's always felt very open, very part of the community.
Very welcoming.
And like I said, your high school, it's like 25 years old. It feels like it opened up like 5 years ago. And to whoever the designer was, it looks like it opened 5 years ago. So it's very state of the art. It's very, it's someplace people want to be.
Absolutely. And certainly a place where we feel our kids want to be. They don't want to leave when their 4 years are up. This class of 2025 that graduated was a special group to me because their first day at Hartland High School was my first day at Hartland High School. And to get to be their assistant principal for 2 years and their principal for 2, and we got to the end there, and what a great group that was, but they didn't want to leave. They enjoy it at Hartland High School and the programs that we have. Academically, we have such a range of programs and courses to meet all students' needs, to support them and challenge them appropriately. Very proud of our AP courses that we offer and continue to add more of each year in our AP scores, and the things that we're doing to challenge kids, all kids. Kind of our curriculum theme is give to all, gains for all, an intervention for all kids to meet them where they're at and help them be successful, is something we really pride ourselves on. And Patrick really helps me, with that aspect of it as well.
Kind of a rising tide raises all boats, right?
Absolutely.
And I saw on your guys' website, you're a top-ranked school in the state.
Yes, we did see that. We're very proud of that. We were very excited to see that and blessed, feel blessed to have that rating because, certainly something we're proud of.
Yeah, and I would just say too, the culture of the district permeates K-12. It really does. I mean, whether you're selling a house in the neighborhood or you're going there on a Friday night for a football game or going to a play production, I will tell you that community, the culture of the community and the district, it permeates. It's not just the high school. It's the work they're doing at Oak Creek, at Farms, and all the elementary schools, even like Tot Spot, and all the youth sports. Like the culture is super positive, and we reap the benefits of all these wonderful kids that get up to us as ninth graders and as we spend the next 4 years with them.
Well said, Patrick. Absolutely. It starts down in when they were super young, and it goes back to our outstanding families, kids, and the outstanding teachers we have throughout the district. I watch our teachers come to work every day and do such a nice job of challenging our kids in a good way and building relationships first. And it makes a difference. It really does. So we are truly blessed to have such great staff and teachers and people to work with every day.
That's huge. That is really wonderful.
It is. And I know we've touched on so many different areas. Is there anything about your guys' programs or the high school that we may have missed that you want to make sure to highlight?
Everything comes back to the 3 R's, reason, respect, and responsibility. I mean, that's what we live by every day in Hartland schools. We treat people the right way. We build relationships first. And we feel like if we do that, everything else kind of takes care of itself. Did I miss it?
No, I'd say the same thing. I'd say, when it comes to continuity in the schools and the community, it goes back to those 3 R's. Mr. Hughes would be very proud of us to mention those on this podcast, reason, respect, responsibility. And that's not just something that we preach at the high school. They hear at K-12, if they have an opportunity to sit in front of our superintendent, Mr. Hughes, you best believe whether he's talking to kindergartners or high school seniors, he is going to use the 3 R's.
Absolutely. We kind of preach to our kids too, if they show up to school consistently, we're going to find a way to help them be successful. And we're grateful for the opportunity to do so. We truly feel grateful to work in Hartland schools and have the community support that we do.
One thing I wanted to make sure to speak to, because in my free time, I'm on the board of directors for the Livingston County Spartans. But I was recently at your awards night this year, handing out one of the many scholarships that we hand out in the county there. And you guys have so many wonderful scholarships that are just there for your particular school. People that are active in the community, people that have kind of, a legacy, maybe a family member passed away. But it was really beautiful and remarkable to see. And there are a lot of awards, nights out there that we do end up going to and whatnot. But you guys really, I felt that great connection, that great pride, and the opportunities that you guys were offering to your students that are not even that, the school is, it's the community that is recognizing just the great work that your students are doing. And if I remember right, because we got to sit on the stage, and I think you guys had some students on the stage too, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And that's something that's kind of special too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite nights of the year. The community scholarships that our kids that are offered to our kids are outstanding. And our kids kind of can go on our scholarship gazette on our counseling website and apply for as many as they want. And that night is always a rewarding experience for those kids and those families. And we always appreciate the community and the presenters that show up for those kids. And it's also a night where we recognize all of our top seniors, and we pass out their honor cords and their awards that they've truly worked so hard to earn over the years.
Yeah, that's really nice for recognizing those achievements.
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, we wanted to, before we wrap up here, where do people go to find out more about the district, more about Hartland High School?
Yeah, the best place is our website, hartlandhighschool.us. And we keep that updated regularly, and there's many tabs there that you can find about all of our programs, from our clubs to our counseling page to our scholarship gazette that I just mentioned. That is the best place to get started to find out more about Hartland High School.
Excellent. Well, we have learned so much about your district, and we're just so proud of Livingston County, and I just feel like so many of the people in the county have all these great options. And for those that are in Hartland or considering Hartland, what a great way to go, because you guys really are leading an outstanding school in Hartland High School.
Well, hey, thank you so much. That means a lot. We appreciate you guys having us on. What a great opportunity. I'd like to thank Mr. Patrick Borg for joining me.
Happy to be here.
Thank you guys for coming. And to anyone out there, check out their website. Your guys' district is a great district. There's so many resources they have for students, and there's so much that they're doing in the community as well. So if you live in Hartland, check it out. Make sure you check out the pool. A lot of these things are open to the community as well to be able to go in and utilize. So it truly is more than just the students. That's the focus, but it's part of the community, and it's a collaborative effort. And we can see how much you guys just have a passion for this. And, thank you for what you're doing for Hartland, for the community, and for those students, because, that's 4 years that's so instrumental to their life, that you're making a point to make them feel special, make them feel important, and give them a leg up to that next step.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Our kids only get to do high school one time and for 4 years, and it's our job to make it the best possible experience we can. And that's what our staff tries to do every day.
You guys are really making a difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks again for joining us today.
Yeah.
And welcome to Livingston.